Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Nara Sim. And thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video where he is a Mexican. At the same time, he has dual citizenship, Mexican and American, right? So he made a video where he was telling, why they are supporting Trump, and it looks like it became really they became really very aggressive. So he called them European Americans, right? And they became very mad. So this, what they do when because they told him to go back to where he's coming from. So the young man decided to compile videos where European Americans, in his own words, where they are in Mexico begging for money and they are stranded and homeless, right? So he also told them that he knows how homeless they could be most times. So the video, caused a lot of problems. Why he also told them, why is it that they are always very quick to tell tell people that you all are Black Americans, right? And these ones are African Americans. These ones are Asian Americans. How come you all never told yourself or tell yourself that you all are European Americans? I mean, heaven let loose in the comment section. They were really very mad with him and also telling him why would he say that. Some also accepted the fact that they are European Americans, and it's more like it's been a trend. But I really love the fact that somebody checked them, because I mean, this is really a thing that I've been waiting for somebody to bring it up, but somebody did bring it up. Let's get
There were so many confused European Americans wondering why I call them European American instead of just American in my other post. For example, this guy is saying, what is a European American? Americans are not from Europe. I literally had hundreds of European Americans wondering why I call them European American. So my question for you guys is, why do you call everybody else something hyphen American? African American, Mexican American, Asian American, Native American. I think it's so funny how they like to subcategorize and label everybody else, but when somebody matches their energy, they get so confused and they completely shut down. You call Black people African American because their ancestors are from Africa. You call Asians Asian American because their ancestors are from Asia. You call Mexicans Mexican American because their ancestors are from Mexico. So I'm calling you European American because your ancestors are from Europe. Your ancestors are from Germany, from Poland, from France, from England. The only real Americans are Native Americans, the indigenous people. Indigenous Americans are more American than every single European American put together. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think.
So apparently there's a new wave of labeling that's going on in America that is pissing off white people, and that is European Americans. If you have not noticed, everyone in the United States of America that is not Caucasian has a hyphenated name when it comes to their nationality. Asians are Asian Americans because their ancestry is Asian. Mexican American because their ancestry is Mexican. Black people are African American because their ancestry is African. Well, the only people being known as American are white people. Native Americans are called Native Americans to hyphenate that they are native to this land. Well, recently people have started calling the natives just plain Americans and started calling white people European Americans. And apparently it's causing some stir. White people are not liking the fact that they are being taken away from their ancestry, or their identity is being taken away from United States of America, and it's being attached to Europe, and it's causing quite some stir. I know it's pretty niche right now, but if this thing picks up steam, I'm curious to see where this goes. But yeah, apparently they've started calling white people European Americans and they don't like it.
Good day, y'all. So, European American, what's your thoughts? I saw it making its rounds again today, and I thought, wow, this is interesting because it's people of color who are pushing the term for white Americans to start using it. So apparently, they only want to be called American, not white, not European American, but American. Now, I want to be called European American. I've been pushing this for a few years because I thought it was a really great idea when I first heard it on TikTok a few years ago. But people thought it was an insult to be called European American, and I'm confused and I don't understand. So maybe you can enlighten me. See, I'm actually a witch, and that's not some sort of fanatical thing. It's more of, I get in touch with my ancestors. I get in touch with decolonizing. I get in touch with history. I mix science into it. It's not some fanatical thing. I'm more of a spiritual healer. I heal myself. I'm not trying to heal other people. But, you know, I understand that there is a lot of healing that we who lack melanin, right, who come from Europe, that is why we lack melanin, because we need to soak up more vitamin D, because we come from a place that had less sunshine. And now we're in America where there's far more sunshine, okay? It's killing me sometimes, all right? So let's be honest with ourselves, all right? We aren't from this land, and now we have to evolve to develop in this land, and that takes a long time if we're going to be here. We have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to be honest with the people here, the natives who were actually here before us, and all the other people here. And we have to be honest with ourselves first and foremost. We are from Europe. Our ancestors are from Europe. Now, we may be American, but I don't understand the pride in just being American and not accepting the roots and even the embarrassing history of colonization and where that comes from. You have to accept that. So I'm thinking that is why they feel offended. It's not that the European part is so offensive. Why would you be offended at the fact that your ancestors are European? There's nothing to be offended about. It's the fact that they have to put in the work to understanding that history, that colonization process. And there's nothing really wrong with it, because when you think about it, they're probably thinking, oh, maybe my ancestors were slave masters or something like that. No, more than likely, your ancestors were probably poor farmers who were pushed off their land, who were starving and came over through Ellis Island or something like that. More than likely, they might have been artisans. There may have been a really cool story about your ancestors. Some of your ancestors were really, really hideous people. Some of them were really cool. This is like the story of everybody's ancestors. Everybody has a messy ancestral past. That's just the truth. We have good ancestors. We have really bad ancestors. And we have to recognize our ancestry past. And I think that is what is hitting so hard. And a lot of people make a really good point. There's African American, there's Mexican American, there's Asian American, there's all these different categories. And when you just say you're American, it's like you're trying to say you're special from everybody else and everybody else can be othered. And I don't think that you can't just do that anymore. You can't get away with doing this. On top of that, there's no way that you could just sit there and be like, I'm proud of being white. There's too much history and baggage of that. Black people can be proud of being black because they had to go through so much just to survive. Mexican people can be proud to be brown, the brown pride. I've heard of that because there's so much in also this land being used to be Mexico and them having so much pride and work in this land. So being proud of being white, is that what you're talking about? Like, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. I'm European American. I accept it. I like this conversation. Let's keep it going.
Hey TikTok, it's your favorite European American teacher here. That's right, I said European American. Well, I do have a smidge of native blood. The French, English, Irish, Dutch, and Welsh in me has washed over me figuratively. And what kind of washing are you saying? Well, we're not going to say that right now because I don't want to use that term anymore. My skin color was never a source of pride for me growing up. Most of my friends were not the same color as me, and it wasn't until about 4th grade that I started to actually have a few friends this color. And then later on, I started learning about my country, and I was proud of things my country did, and then I found out things my country did, and I was no longer proud of things my country did, especially for the reason that they did them, which had a lot to do with the color of skin. And then later on, I found out about what British people did with colonization around the world. And guess what? Skin color involved in that too. So I am a European American, and I will stay a European American. That other one, yeah, I'm gonna leave that for the nationalists.
Okay, white people, I don't know what is going on, but this is insane. This is getting out of hand. This is honestly crazy because now we are starting to call you guys European American. Wait a minute, what? And so this is not an endearing term. I think it's meant as a slight for the categorization of minorities as like South Asian American, African American, Mexican American, Latino American, Native American, right? There's this hyphenation that goes on, and you guys may not be aware, but this kind of like otherizes us and makes us feel like less than or different from y'all or a normal American, right? And even that's what is a normal American, right? And so we have struck back and created this term European American to describe y'all, and some of y'all may be thrilled with that because maybe some of y'all are like, yo, I knew I was European. I knew I was a mix of German, Irish, and English. But for some reason, some of y'all would like to describe yourselves as like being from Nebraska or whatever state you're from, right? And you're like, no, you're not. Your people are not from Nebraska, bro. And this really got me thinking, right? These labels, they're super fun. They're in jest, right? They're not to be taken seriously, right? And let's just honestly go a layer deeper here. You know, I love to go deep in my videos, and all these labels are just man-made. They're just imaginary things we're making up in our head, right? Our dogs and our cats are not going, hey, that's an African American. Hey, that's a European American, right? And so it is important to keep that in context. Like all of these labels, all of these things that are man-made, the border is imaginary. The races are imaginary, right? These countries that we think that we rep so hard, all this stuff is imaginary, my friends. It's a game that your job, all of these things are super, super imaginary, right? And they're just based off this collective agreement that we have with each other, with other humans. It's like in the man-made realm, in the human-made realm, that these things exist, right? And so European Americans, my friends, how does it feel to be part of identity politics?
Hey friends, so I'm loving this trend about European Americans, and I'm loving how upset people are getting. And for those of you who are getting upset about it, I'm going to ask you, what language do you speak? Because if it's one of the 4 major languages here in the Americas, which are English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese, newsflash, those are European languages. So if any of those languages are one of your first languages, that's a European language, which makes you speaking a European language in the Americas, which kind of makes you a European American, doesn't it? Funny how that works. Who loves language? I do. Love you. Bye.
European Americans wondering why I call them European American instead of just American.
I am so glad we're having this discussion. On my post, I had posted about this months ago, maybe even a year ago. So glad we're having this discussion. So whenever I meet someone who says, oh, I'm Canadian or I'm American, what I say to them all the time is that, oh, are you related to the indigenous people? Or are you indigenous? Y'all have to do this so they realize.
I always think I'm white until I tell them I'm European, and then it'd be like, oh, you're still white. Bitch, if I told you I speak a different language, and I'm European, Bosnian to be exact, bitch, that's not white. White is trailer trash, motorcycle, cigarette smoking. That's what white is. The fuck, y'all be getting shit confused. Like, the fuck, I can speak my language. Jebem ti Michael, puchi mi kurats. Zawsze many pitash. Like, why you asking me too many questions?
I'm sorry, but are the whites having a diaspora war? Is that what this is? 'Cause I'm pretty sure that was a white man. Now, I could be wrong, But why does he sound like that? He actually sounds like a gay black man or a ghetto black girl. I mean, look at this clip.
It's a real one birthday, big 26, real Virgo shit. You know, the fuck going on, bitch? I'm not finna play with none of y'all hoes. Bitch, I'm playing with none of y'all motherfucking hoes. Fuck, real Virgo shit. Real Virgo shit.
If this not a bitch from the hood, then I don't know what is. Like, it's giving cosplaying black woman, gay black man. But I'm so confused. But is this what we look like when we're arguing amongst one another? I'm not like this, I'm not like that. But we're like, you know? That was very confusing for me.
So this is all I got from this video. And sincerely speaking, his comment section was really like, on fire because they actually came for him. But this is, you all already know, this is what they do to black people. I mean, like, they love to categorize people from like black people, maybe African American, Asian. It's really a thing, right? But they also forget to tell us where they are from. But they always call themselves America because they are the real deal and the rest of it. So this is absolutely a very great one. And the guy that started the trend is okay. Why did he start that? I think he was he actually came out to say this way because a lot of people were supporting Trump even after the debate that happened. So he came out to ask them why are they doing what they are doing. So they told him to if he doesn't like Trump that he should tear his papers or denounce his American citizen because he is, I think, Mexican and also American, right? So they told him to denounce his citizenship and move back to Mexico. It's always very easy for them to tell people things like this and all that. So he really came for all of them. And at some point, he decided to, he made this video saying that you all are very quick to tell people where they are from, like, Black Americans, this, that. Why is it that you all don't tell people that you're European American? And that really got them so bad that you see the comment section, they were really very busy fighting him all out. Why? Because they did not like it. There is something I have noticed about some people that are ready to dish out things to people and then not willing to take that, they are ready to dish out, but they are not ready to receive, So they provoked the young man and the young man came all out for them. And then they became like very aggressive in the comment section and the rest of it. And this is absolutely a discussion that needed to be, said, or something that needed to be said because it's really been something. It's really been something. And they really do, white people, or should I say European Americans, really do know how they do this. They do it perfectly well, because sometimes I feel like they just want to, that period they are looking for a way to distinguish themselves from every other person or to make themselves really look very different or from not the same place and all of that. Then they use that on people and thinking it's cool. So the young man said, it is not cool. I am coming for you people. And he really did. I mean, this is all I got. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.